transitioning from the athlete side of things into the presenting and the hosting and the media challenges, because I've seen you doing a bit of live event hosting, which is obviously what Superstar Speakers is all about. How do you get into doing that, and do you enjoy it, and what are the challenges of that?
Yeah, I do enjoy it, and I think it has to be a certain character to do it. And I think a lot of people assume you can do it, and it does take a lot of work. And people just think because you know that sport, therefore you can present live, and it doesn't work like that whatsoever. My best ever training was actually going into schools. So my first job was going into was working with the Youth Sport Trust, and they said, right.
Cool.
So I went for my interview, and they went, so Gail, what's your experience about going into schools? And I was like, well, I talk to the gifted and talented kids, and I'm always handing out the medals at sports awards. And I went, right, we work with the kids that are disengaged, so we work with the kids that have got anger management and the kids that don't like sport. And I was like, and so what? There are kids out there that don't like sport. And what they did was they helped me go into a room of 20, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds who really didn't give a crap who I was, didn't give a crap that I was an Olympian, because they got a really shit life. And they helped me talk about me, sort of my journey, and they broke it down and everything like that. And that was one of the best things I ever did. And I thought, if I can communicate to 12-year-olds who are literally like that, going, I ain't listening to you, miss. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. And I thought, if I can do that, then I can do anything. I can talk to CEOs of multi-million-pound companies. I can talk live on 5 Live. I can talk live anywhere. And it was one of the, I recommend, if someone wants to go into that kind of work, just talk in so many different areas and get training, get professional training. Because I had a great lady called Kat Winter who was brilliant with me. She taught me how to stand, how to project my voice. It was all these little things that you might not know about, but actually make a massive difference to how you can talk. And then you look back and you go, yeah, actually, the difference in you, it is a skill, and you've got to want to do it, and you have actually got to be able to do it, and it's not for everyone. So yeah, it's I like it. I'm not shy, so it's not too bad. I can go out there and I don't mind making a fool of myself. You've got to be able to take that. If it goes wrong, you'll have to go, oops, it goes wrong. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I like it.
So when you say you can talk to CEOs of business, have you done a bit of that as well? Like where you talk to the whole how sport can relate to leadership and motivation and stuff. You've done all that as well?
Yeah, I'm a qualified business coach.
I'll get you.
I know. So I'm not sure anyone's going to employ me after this. They're like, okay, so she plays golf, she wants to wrestle, but she's also a business coach. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like you're going to stand out.
Yes. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think it was part of my going through the transition, and someone suggested going on a mentor course to help other other sports people, and it taught me so much. It gave me that opportunity to reflect and kind of learn. And then I went that bit further. I said, right, actually, if I want to be a coach, you need to really understand what gets people, what gets them motivated, the values, all those little things. And I find it fascinating. It's taught me about how I can, from my end, but also how to help people with what they want to achieve in life as well. So yeah, it's good fun. It's different characters, and I love that you think you know someone, and then they just go, actually, I want this. You go, okay, right, we'll go this way then. Yeah, and that's what's fascinating. People are people, and they're brilliant.
It's actually something that I'm really passionate about, is like talking to people and how to talk to people, how to talk to different people, because obviously doing this as a living, and then before that was the wrestling MCing, and before that was radio presenting. So it's actually something that really interests me in how to maintain your personality and your tone, but direct it in different ways. So talking to 12-year-old kids is massively different to talking to 35+ businessmen who think they're God's gift. You're talking to school kids, athletes. Like, is there anything you can like embellish and unpick that a little bit? Like any tactics you've got, or
Yeah, so
lessons?
I say the same story. I literally say the same
Okay.
story to every single those categories. So I've got the primary schools, I've got the 16, 17-year-old kids, and I've got the CEOs. And I say the same story. But you do it in, you said it exactly then. It's about the tone and your body language,
Yeah.
and actually how you accentuate certain words and certain messages. So the primary school kids, it's really exciting. Everything is exciting. And I'm like, oh, you know, really over the top dramatic. I'm like a drama teacher. And it's like, right, okay, who can tell me? And you get them to ask questions and get them like in their heads, their imagination. And that's what you do. You've got to get them into this beautiful world of sport. And you can do that. Right, can you feel your heart racing? You do lots of actions. Then with 16, 17-year-olds, it's a bit more like, okay, so actually start asking the questions, but not, you know, sort of like, ooh. You start to go, okay, right, so what choices are you making? And, you know, this is what I made at your age. This is the dilemmas I had. I am exactly the same as you, but this is the choice I made. What choices are you making that could be the right thing? So you just sort of like turn, you know, sort of bring it back to when I was their age, and, you know, this is life and this is what I had to decide. And then you can see them questioning about decisions and choices. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Really, you sort of bring it into themselves, but not in a mass. You don't tell them what you must do this and you must do that. You talk about actually failing is good. You know, you're learning and it's okay. It's okay to be, you know, you're human. And then when you go to the CEOs, you do the same sports story, but say, okay, so how did I achieve it? And you sort of you do the questions, and we dissect it a little bit more. So why did I achieve it? How did I achieve it? You know, who are the people that helped me, and how can that relate to your business right now? And exactly the same story, but you just use the different questions, and you just get the person in different ways. But that's it.
That's
There's no magic in it. And the CEO's going, I just paid her that amount of money to say that. But she says the same thing to a primary school. So probably dug myself into a massive hole there. But
no, it's an interesting. I think it's a very interesting thing, certainly from my point of view. But then that's what ticks my boxes. Do you know what I mean? Like learning about talking to people. And someone once told me the best exercise to really get your point across is a sentence called "He stole the car," and no matter how you know the one where you put the inflection on each different word, and it makes it a completely different sentence. Exactly. And that's something that I've always taken with me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're lucky in the fact sports, anyone can do a motivational speech, and people just go, oh no. I said, I really believe that every single person has got a story. They have got learnings. They have got and again, it's that confidence to go, this is me. This is what I've learned, and this is what I've achieved. And every single person can be a motivational speaker. It's just like you say, it's how you say it, what you want to say, and what you want people to get from it. But people just go, okay, so I was born on this day, then I went to this school, and then I went to university, and you've missed out so much stuff, you know, because people just don't understand the whys, the hows, and all that sort of stuff.
That's very,